future explorers! Welcome back to our channel, where today we're diving into a world made entirely of clay. Are you ready for an adventure? Let's go! Meet Lily, Tom, and Mia, three best friends who love playing in the park more than anything on a super sunny afternoon. While whooshing down their favorite slide, they noticed something they'd never seen before. Right at the bottom, where their feet usually landed, there was a shimmering, glowing doorway pulsing with all the colors of the rainbow. It looked like a secret invitation. Lily, always the brave one, peeked inside. Tom, who loved mysteries, was right behind her. And Mia, who never wanted to miss out on the fun, followed them both. Whoosh! They tumbled through the glowing light and landed with a soft bounce on something green and squishy. They weren't in the park anymore. They were in a world made completely of clay. The ground beneath them was like a giant green pillow. The hills rolled and wobbled, and the trees had wiggly branches that danced in a gentle breeze. Even the clouds in the sky looked like fluffy white puffs of modeling clay. Mia poked a nearby flower, and it giggled, its petals wiggling like jelly. A bright blue bird flew by, its wings flapping in slow, bouncy motions before it reshaped itself into a butterfly midair. Everything here was alive and so playful. The three friends stared with wide eyes, their faces full of wonder. Tom pointed at a river flowing nearby. It wasn't made of water, but of shimmering, silvery clay that swirled and eddied like liquid metal. As they watched, a school of orange clay fish swam past, each one stretching and squishing into funny new shapes as they moved. One fish even popped into the shape of a star before becoming a fish again. Lily giggled and took a step forward, her foot sinking slightly into the soft ground, leaving a perfect footprint behind. She loved how everything felt so gentle and fun. They decided to explore this amazing clay land. The path ahead of them wasn't straight like a normal path. It was a rainbow-colored ribbon that twisted and turned like a playful snake. As they walked, the path suddenly curled up into a spiral staircase. They laughed and climbed up, finding themselves on top of a big, squishy red hill. From up there, they could see the whole valley. There were fields of bouncing clay mushrooms, forests of wobbly spaghetti-like trees, and a bridge that bounced up and down like a trampoline. A silly sound made them turn around. A creature that looked like a purple clay dog with three tails was bounding towards them. It wasn't running, it was rolling like a ball. When it got close, it unrolled itself, shook its whole body, and barked a happy bowing. Its ears flopped and stretched out like long noodles, then snapped back into place. The kids couldn't help but laugh. Tom gently patted its head, and the clay was so soft and warm. The clay dog wagged its three tails so hard that its whole body wiggled like pudding. It seemed friendly and wanted to play. The clay dog nudged a red clay ball toward them with its nose. Lily picked it up. It was surprisingly light and squishy. She tossed it to Tom, but halfway through the air, the ball grew little wings and started flying around their heads in a circle before landing perfectly in Tom's hands. Mia cheered and clapped. This was the most magical game of catch they had ever played. They spent the next few minutes throwing the ball, watching it transform into different things each time: a spinning top, a tiny car, and even a funny face that stuck its tongue out. Their new friend, the clay dog, bounced and leaped, trying to catch it. After their game, the clay dog led them towards the bouncing bridge. It looked a little scary, but exciting too. Lily went first. With each step, the bridge dipped and sprang back up, sending her gently into the air. She shouted. It's like walking on a giant marshmallow. Tom and Mia joined her, and soon all three were hopping and bouncing across the bridge, laughing as they tried to keep their balance. Below them, The silvery clay river sparkled, and they could see their own stretched and wobbly reflections looking back at them. The clay dog bounced right alongside them, its body jiggling with every jump. On the other side of the bridge, they found a field of giant, colorful clay flowers. Each flower was bigger than they were. Mia, who loved drawing, noticed that you could press your fingers into the petals and draw pictures. She drew a happy sun, and the flowers seemed to glow a little brighter. Tom drew a rocket ship, and for a moment, the flower's stem stretched up towards the sky. Lily drew a heart, and the flower let out a soft, happy sigh, releasing a puff of sweet-smelling clay dust that smelled like bubblegum. They spent ages decorating the flowers, leaving their handprints and little works of art all over the giant clay garden. Suddenly, a nearby mountain started to rumble. But it wasn't a scary rumble. It was a low, wobbly sound like a giant tummy rumbling. The kids watched in amazement as the tall, pointy clay mountain slowly squished down, lower and lower, until it flattened into a huge, round trampoline. The purple clay dog barked excitedly and did a massive backflip onto it, bouncing high into the air. The kids knew what to do. They ran over and jumped on, soaring higher than they ever had before. With every bounce, the world around them seemed to jiggle and sway in time with their jumps. As they were bouncing, they noticed something familiar. High above them, shimmering in the clay sky, was another glowing doorway, just like the one from the park slide. It was time to go home. Their clay dog friends seemed to know it too. It nudged them towards a tall, winding structure that looked like the most epic slide ever made. It was swirly and multicolored, and it led right up to the portal in the sky. It was their way back. They gave their new friend a big, squishy hug. The clay dog licked their faces with its flat, silly tongue and wagged its three tails in a happy goodbye. The kids felt a little sad to leave, but they were also so excited about the adventure they just had. One by one, they climbed onto the giant clay slide. Ready? Shouted Lily. Ready? Yelled Tom and Mia together. They pushed off and zoomed down the slide. It was faster and crazier than any slide they'd ever been on. It twisted through loops, spiraled through tunnels of color, and went over bouncy hills that sent them flying for a second before landing back on the slide. The world of clay whizzed by in a blur of wobbly trees and squishy mountains. They cheered and laughed the whole way down, their hair flying in the wind. The slide curved upwards at the end, launching them like a rocket straight towards the glowing portal. With one final, joyful shout, they soared through the shimmering light. They landed with a soft thud at the bottom of the slide, right back in their own park. The sun was still shining, the birds were still singing, and everything was just as they had left it. The glowing doorway was gone. Was it all a dream? Lily looked down at her hands. There, stuck to her palm, was a tiny piece of rainbow-colored clay. She smiled at Tom and Mia. It wasn't a dream. It was the best adventure ever. And they knew they would never look at a park slide the same way again.